Hello and welcome to this mini series on hunger. You might be like, Matt, why are you talking to us about hunger? Obviously, I know if I'm hungry or not. Well, come with me on the journey. So, it's really important we understand hunger because many people I've worked with, even friends I have discussions with, some of these behaviors may look familiar to you. Say you're tracking your calories and you get to the end of the day and you're like, do you know what? I've got 300 calories left. Yes, I can open that dairy milk. I can open that packet of crisps I've been saving. I can have a couple of biscuits before bed. Or maybe you've just completed a workout at home, or you've been on a bit of cardio equipment at the gym. And it's told you you've burnt 300 calories. Awesome. Or maybe you've left it a bit too late before you're going on holiday and you're like, I've got to restrict what I'm eating because, I've got to lose weight quickly. No carbs before marbs. These are all really common situations in modern life. So a calorie goal, maybe tracking your activity or diet culture generally can lead us to having a disconnect with ourselves, with our hunger, and a distrust of it. We almost don't trust the signals our body are giving us because, we've got this data now. Or sometimes we're ignoring our hunger and eating for the sake of it because we've got that calorie goal left and we've been told we can do that whether we're hungry or not. And my hope by the end of this series is that you'll be better connected to your hunger and what's going on for you. My aim is, as always, to empower you to make choices which align with what you want. So, this little short module today, we're just going to talk about different kinds of hunger. And at the end of this little module, there is a little test at the end. So, you better be watching and paying attention because Matt is watching. So, what kind of hunger might this be? I experience this a lot. It's actually a running joke with me and my other half because when I get hungry, it's like, you're being really bitchy, you're hungry, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah. And I argue you should carry snacks around because often this hunger is physical. This physical hunger is driven by a need to survive. Your body is going, I need food in order to keep you alive. Signs of physical hunger. Your stomach will feel empty. Sometimes you might feel a little bit sick. You can satisfy that hunger with any food. And I always joke, I'm like, literally, if you handed me a peeled carrot, I would be happy with that. It's not for a specific food. It's like, do you know what? I will eat an apple if that is all that is available because I'm so hungry right now. You may experience a lack of focus, struggling to concentrate. You may experience, like I do, moodiness and hunger. In really extreme circumstances, people might feel dizzy, lightheaded. They will feel weak, shaky. These are really extreme physiological responses to hunger. And then finally, the point is this kind of hunger is slow to come on. And sometimes we don't even notice it, especially if you are busy. So physical hunger, slow to onset, satisfied really with anything you will eat. Of course, if you find a food disgusting, you're probably not going to want to eat it. But food will satisfy this hunger. So, going back to my teen years, loving a bit of Will and Grace. Looking at Grace, can we guess what kind of hunger she is experiencing? By the way, this isn't the quiz. Yeah, it's probably emotional hunger, isn't it? She doesn't look very happy, and she's supplementing her rage with cheesecake. It is often emotional hunger, as you might expect, is a response to emotions. And I've put there good or bad because sometimes we might eat when we're happy. When we're happy to see someone and part of our social life, maybe with our other half, is food. We might eat whether we're hungry, like physically hungry or not, because of that emotion of happiness and being connected with that person. Emotional hunger, especially when it's more the bad emotions, is going to be sudden in onset. It's going to be specific foods you want. For example, when people are stressed, they often want something quite crunchy because it's very visceral. I'm very wordy today, aren't I? You know, it's a physical thing. You're putting that energy into something. I'm getting very riled up here. As you can see, strong emotions. It's going to feel uncontrolled. And a key indicator is no matter how much you eat, you don't feel satisfied, because ultimately you're not giving yourself what you actually need in response to that emotion. For example, if I am feeling anxious and unsettled and I want some comfort from food, that doesn't really deal with the anxiety. It will just give me a temporary hit of endorphins or dopamine. I'm going to feel great. Awesome, I've had something. But then still I'm feeling anxious because I don't feel safe. And what I need is safety and reassurance. And a biscuit ain't going to do that. Well, no biscuit I've eaten anyway. Next. What kind of hunger is that? I hope you're appreciating these gifts today. Yes, there's such a thing as environmental hunger. Your environment can make you hungry. It's driven by, as I've just said, a response to your environment. Think about freshly baked bread, the smell of bacon cooking, and, you know, if you went to Cadbury's World, I'm pretty sure you'd want to eat some chocolate. So it's likely to be driven by smell or sight of delicious food. Again, it's going to be specific foods, usually the thing you're smelling or seeing. Sometimes it can be social. Like if you go out with friends and they're all having cake and coffee, you might not be hungry, but you want to join in with this social occasion. Also, if you're out with people, they may be like, oh, we're having this, you have some too. So that kind of peer pressure, you know, moms are really good at this kind of thing. Just have a little piece. Have a little piece. God, I know you're not hungry. Just have a little bit more. It's again not connected to physical hunger like we spoke about first. It's just, or a need to eat. Sorry, I misunderstood my slide. So yeah, it's very much driven by, oh, do you know what? I want a bacon sandwich now. I've smelt bacon. Yeah, I want fish and chips every time you walk past a fish and chip shops. Environmental hunger. Then finally, this is one that I've kind of shoehorned in because I experienced this recently. I took Simone out for a really nice high-end tasting menu meal. And I was really sad because everything we had just missed the mark slightly. So I was disappointed and I wasn't satisfied. So afterwards, and this is literal footage from it because this is my life, filming myself eating, we went to McDonald's. So I've just had this really high-end meal, you know, and I appreciated the quality and there's quite a lot of food, so I wasn't hungry, but I wasn't satisfied. So sometimes it can be a taste or texture, that kind of hunger, satisfaction hunger. I wasn't sure what to call it, so let's go with taste or texture. It's a hunger in response to a need for a specific taste or texture. It's not related, again, to physical hunger. It's usually for a specific food. So in this case, I wanted, earlier in the week, I'd had a McDonald's burger. They did a special one and I was really enjoyed it. And I wanted that because I was so disappointed by the meal. It just didn't hit the spot like I wanted it to. This is probably also a bit of emotional eating because I was disappointed. But again, it doesn't feel irrational. The next day we went out with friends and I retold this story that I'm telling you now. And I just got the mickey took out of me. Because it's like, okay, Matt, are you hungry or are you just not satisfied? Like, that was a running joke. But it was about flavor, texture. This meal didn't have much umami, not savory enough. The sweets weren't quite indulgent enough. There were things missing that weren't satisfied. You can tell I wasn't happy. But usually, once you've had what you want, you are going to feel satisfied, or this irrational, inexplainable need has been met. There are other types of hunger, but I think these are the four main ones I want to discuss today. If you wanted some examples of other ones, there's things like practical hunger, like when you eat when you're not hungry, but it's because you know this is your only window of time to eat. Things like that. Or habitual hunger, like if you have a cuppa and then you're like, oh, I always have a biscuit in the afternoon with that. That's like a habitual hunger. Anyway, let's move on. time for our quiz. And I've technically given you answer to these. So, you've had breakfast already, but you go around to your friend's house and they're cooking bacon. What kind of hunger is this? Listen to the sizzle. Smell that salty savoury. I'm really sorry if you're vegetarian or vegan, genuinely. But yeah, it's going to be environmental hunger, isn't it? So, it's been a day. You've just been dumped. You're not feeling the best. And you're going to have, I think it's not, but you're going to have some Ben & Jerry's, Bailey's, Haagen-Dazs. It's emotional eating, in it, babes? I hope you're joining in this and I'm giving you enough time. So, you are so hungry that you may even chew your own arm off or the arm of your owner if you are a cat. What kind of hunger is this? 4, 3, 2, 1. Probably physical hunger. I mean, this cat is emotional, but hopefully you got the illustration. 2 more. Then class dismissed. What kind of hunger? Your boss is being an absolute, you know what? You've got lots of deadlines, lots of work to do. And you reach for your snack drawer at work. You've got a pack of proper corn and some peanuts in there. You're going to crunch your way through them. You're probably feeling stressed. So stress eating, stress is an emotion. So therefore, yeah, emotional eating. And then the final one, oh, look at that. You can even see the steam coming off this. Freshly baked bread. Sorry to any celiacs. Environmental hunger. So, thank you for watching this. Hopefully by now we've got a little bit of a better grasp of the different types of hunger. What we're going to talk about next is mindless eating, and then we're going to be talking about the hunger scale, hunger and fullness, and how can we really understand where we are on the scale of hunger when it comes to physical hunger. So, stay tuned. More coming soon. Let me know your quiz score. Let me know if I got the answers wrong to any of these quizzes. Goodbye. I'm going to stop talking now. Bye.